What's up, man? How you doing? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
taking
no worries.
a long time to get a signal for. I tried on my
Yeah,
computer first, and
y-
I just got like a blank screen for my computer.
yeah,
I didn't I don't know, maybe the camera's all. It didn't even prompt me to turn the camera on or anything. It's just like I'm looking
mm,
into darkness.
yeah,
So what's up?
yeah. This is the first time I've been on live, so it's like, as I said, I'm a newbie to this. I'm a
So
newbie
am
to
I.
this live.
That makes two of us. That
But
makes two
sorry,
of
what
us.
did you say?
I said that makes two of us.
Yeah,
So
definitely, definitely. How are you anyway?
I'm good. I'm good. Just trying to stay, healthy and all that.
Yeah, of course, of course. How is it? Tell the people how it's like in New York or
Well,
America with this
for the
Corona.
for the last 9 weeks,
Yeah,
it was the streets in New York were very empty by
yeah,
comparison to. I mean, this is usually a very bustling city, very
of
busy,
course.
very crowded.
Yeah,
People are basically like, like it's like not too different from, say, London, where you know how it gets in a subway, right? Where there's people
yeah,
on top
it's
of people
crazy.
on top of people. Same thing here, but more,
Mm,
because it's a bigger city is more. It's very similar in terms of the dynamic, the hustle bustle and the pace.
yeah, hustle
Everybody
bustle. That's a
in
good word.
London is moving quickly. Here, same thing,
Yeah,
and then a lot of people. So that's what that's the vibe. Um, but since all of this, it's changed. I mean, like it's the opposite. So it's really strange to walk outside and be like the only person walking on a block.
yeah. It's like something from a movie or something like this.
Absolutely, like from movies, from
Yeah,
from all these dystopic films, and it's very frightening, and
yeah,
stressful. I mean, even if you try not to stress, just listening to all the stuff that's going on around, you can't help it but to hear it. And you're walking around with a headache all the time,
yeah.
a
And it
neck,
could.
just because you're
Mm,
cringing from all the stress. And I
yeah.
gotta get a mask, so it's not.
So I can't hear you.
Hold on. Okay. All right. I'm
So
sorry about that.
no, no,
Yeah,
no
this is.
worries, man. No worries. The connection
Yeah.
is across the. I'm gonna get into conversation with you now, if that's cool. If that's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Shoot, man.
Yeah. So like, for people who don't know you, just like give an introduction of who you are, and like where you're coming from, really.
Well, My name is Al Diaz, Al Diaz. I'm
Yeah.
a native New Yorker. New Yorker. My parents were Puerto Rican immigrants. I grew up in the Lower East Side.
Mm.
I was born in 1959, so I grew up during the 60s and 70s in New York City.
Yeah.
At the age of 12, I became interested in a brand new phenomena that was occurring in uptown New York called, and it was graffiti culture, and I
Yeah.
was one of the first graffiti artists to introduce graffiti to my neighborhood, which was the Lower East Side, which you may have heard of. and uh, and then by 1976, 77, I had already made a name for myself because it was a very young culture. The average graffiti writer back then was like 14 years old, and I was there. I was there from the beginning, and and then by 76, 77, I started getting a little tired of it because a lot of people were doing it. It wasn't that unusual. Like the attraction when I was a kid was because it was like the secret organization. You were doing this
Yeah.
stuff that nobody knew what the hell about. But then after a while, it became a bit more pedestrian. People would all kinds of kids were doing it, and it wasn't that attractive anymore.
Mm.
So so and during that time, I had gone to the High School of Art and Design, which was a well known school for a lot of graffiti, like big time graffiti artists. Had people like Tracy 168, SJK 171, early graffiti guys. When Flint
Yeah.
a lot of influential um, early graffiti writers went there, and it was like, so we were a community there. So so anyway, so I got so involved with that I didn't take care of my school stuff. So I
Mm.
ended up getting kicked out by the 11th grade, and I ended up at another school called City as a School. That's where I met Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was not a member of the graffiti
Yeah.
community. He was not part of that culture. It's like
Yeah.
you came up the ranks, right? You started out as a toy. He was never involved in that. He was, I guess, a little more sheltered as a kid.
Mm.
So with him, we came up with a new thing that was more a new type of graffiti that was more exciting for because that, like I said, I was kind of tired of the played out, the whole name and number graffiti. I thought it was kind of tired, and then
Yeah.
we started doing these messages that were basically just writings that we that about how we felt about society, culture, our own generation, etc., etc. So and it was saying it was a product that we had kind of invented, which was kind of like saying same old shit, same old thing. But
Like the lingo.
by the time it became a religion, it didn't mean same old shit anymore. It was just a word, and it was funny to us. So we stayed with that word. And
Mm.
anyway, so within a year from the time we started it, we started out. It started out as a story in a high school newspaper, and then we turned it into a graffiti campaign and wrote it in Lower Brooklyn and downtown Manhattan and certain parts uptown
Yeah.
around New York. And within a year, we had called the attention of the art world and the and it was graffiti that was written for adults. Even though we were teenagers, we were trying to get a more. We were trying to reach a more adult audience. It wasn't just
Yeah. Of
a
course.
tag.
Like
Not
a
a tag.
corporate audience, or like a like because I believe I've done some research, and where you placed it was in significant places where it would be seen by the corporate world and like catch the mainstream media kind of in a
Right. Yeah.
sense in a
I mean, it was more about like that. Like if the subject was art, we go and do it. Like if we were talking about the art world, we would do it in Soho. What was the central art market back then?
yeah
And if it was
yeah
about like say like commercialism, we would write it on commercial. We would do our writings on commercial strips, like where there's a lot of stores, a lot of boutiques and stuff
mm,
like that. So
yeah
it was, I mean, what you read now and what actually was happening is always
of
slightly,
course
it's distorted,
diluted
It's like,
yeah
it's like a lot
diluted
of
yeah
people think that SAMO was Basquiat's nickname or something, and that just is not true. It was nobody's name.
yeah of course
They
yeah
called themselves SAMO, except later on when it became somewhat well known, because it wasn't world famous.
yeah
It was somewhat well known in downtown, and me and Jean-Michel had a falling out right after that because anonymous, and he was very into famous guy, so he started telling people, "Oh, I'm Samo, I'm Samo." So
yeah
that's how that association became created. Is that he called himself Samo after we parted ways for a while, but we started doing stuff back in 82, 80, around 82. We kind of patched things up a little bit and did some work together. I played on
Pe-
that record with Rem LZ that he produced. I did the percussion on that.
people
So,
are people asking
so
what same old means now. What same old means to you now?
well, same old. It always meant the same thing. It was just a vehicle. It didn't mean the word doesn't mean anything. It's just a vehicle that was that was a way of talking about anything. It's like it's like a host that can introduce to any subject, you know. So
Uh,
Samo said, in other words, that's it's yeah, it's kind of a host and or a vehicle.
yeah,
So it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't have a meaning per se. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just
yeah.
it's a, a pliable vehicle.
All right. What I wanted to ask you is like, I know there was a like financial crisis in New York. Like, how did that inspire you? Did that inspire you in any way?
What recently?
No, not recently. Like, in was it the 1970, 1960?
It was the 1970s, and it was the worst year was 77, which was the year before SAMO was created. We said SAMO was created in 1978,
Yeah,
and that's when it proliferated. That's when we did most of it. But it was the worst year of the financial depression in New York was
yeah,
1977, and it was yeah, it was pretty dark. I mean, we were having fun either way because we were. I mean, in 1977, I was 18 years old, so I
yeah.
was just I couldn't. I mean, life back then was very different. You could leave the house with $2 in your pocket,
Of
and
course,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
party all weekend. Somehow
yeah,
you would
yeah,
have a blast all weekend, and that's how we lived our life. We were
yeah.
pranksters. We didn't just. It wasn't just about doing the same old graffiti. We were
Like
partying. We were
living the
doing
life,
all kinds
rock,
of
yeah,
around.
like living that rock
Um,
star life.
well, yeah, we just had fun. You know, we were young and we had a lot of fun, and we didn't have any money. We just like
Mm,
leave the house and go and do. I mean, like for instance, like I remember one time we were at a New Year's party at a friend of ours loft in on West Broadway in Soho, and we saw all these seltzer bottles, and we had long coats on because it was the winter. So we grabbed everybody grabbed there was a group of us. I mean, it was me and Jean, of course. We were like the commanders, and we
yeah,
took
yeah,
like 7, 8 of our friends and went down to this boutique on West, a few blocks over, around it was yeah around New Year's time, and we just went into the store, and it was like a boutique where they sold frou-frou, like expensive feather earrings and whatnot. And we went in there like we were gonna hold the place up, we kind of covered our faces, and all of a
man,
sudden we pull
crazy,
out
crazy.
seltzer bottles.
Yeah,
And we sprayed everything in the store with seltzer, and these people had their hands up and screaming. But that's a
did it?
typical thing. That's what we would do. I mean, that's the kind of pranks that that we did.
Obviously now you can't do it because you have
No,
the
we get
SWAT team
shot
and
now.
stuff like this. Huh?
Or some drones will come and like shoot
You
us
have
or
the SWAT team and stuff like
fire.
that. Huh?
But but it was a different time.
Yeah, of course.
But that's what I mean. That was typical behavior. Or we go to
Yeah,
parties just and leave there with all the booze. We go and steal stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, wow, wow.
we're just
Crazy.
like a bag of, you know, having a blast, and it was
That's
fun.
how it should be in
Well, it
moderation.
was
Huh?
we weren't taking no shorts. We were like, we're gonna have a blast. We're young. We're gonna, we have a bunch of our friends with us, and we're just having a good old time.
Yeah, of course, of course.
This is the book that I put together, which explains the history of SAMO
Yeah,
from it's SAMO
yeah.
since
Tell people about the book. Tell
1978.
people, tell people about the book. Is everything
Well,
you
it's got
said?
here.
Is it like it's written by you?
It's written by me, and it's got some of the earlier SAMO graffiti photograph here. I'm gonna show you right now. Here,
Yeah.
it's a I don't know. I'm not really set up to do this correctly, but
No, it's cool. It's cool.
here's an early. You can't really see it, but that's in a subway station. Here's
Yeah.
one of the early photographs here. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Here's the SAMO. Oh, there's the SAMO right there. Okay, so these are from the 70s, and And then some of them are from like from 2016 when I decided that I needed to explain to the world the history of SAMO,
Yeah,
because over time what had happened was the story kind of got twisted.
of course.
And
Yeah,
there's still people.
that's how it's gonna be. You
There's
look
still
made.
ple- there's still plenty of people out there that think that that don't know the story of SAMO, didn't know that it was two people, and they think that it was like Basquiat's nickname or something, and they have no idea. They have no idea what a SAMO graffiti looked like. Or, they weren't alive at the time, so they don't know. Anyway,